Welcome to the 8th installation of Team ORCC. This episode is a bit of a special one because we're going to introduce you to our new gravel rider, and I'm going to take you through the biggest race of my season. We're also going to get an update from our cross-country racer, Brad Shenton. Here's what the team got up to throughout the whole of August.
So, as you can see, this is not Matt Page, this is Suvi from off-road.cc. You've joined the team.
I have joined the team.
Yeah, you're a proper gravel rider, so a like-for-like substitution for old Matt.
I think there's really big shoes to fill there,
Oh,
but
no.
I'll try my best.
So, wait a minute, so why are you down in these parts? Because from your accent, I think maybe you could tell that, Suvi, you're not from round here.
No, I'm based in Scotland, so yeah, I'm only down here to ride gravel with you.
Oh.
Yeah, I was doing a bit of an event yesterday, which will be a bigger event next year, and yeah.
But we can't say
no,
anything
not yet,
about that.
no. But you need to keep your eyes peeled.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we managed to do another nice ride today.
Yeah. So seeing as I'm not doing much gravel this month, we thought we'd just meet up, have a little ride of the second half of that loop, because the first half you did was 140 kilometers, and
Yeah.
we've got a little bit more to see today.
Yeah.
How far are we going?
I think we're gonna do 50k.
Okay.
And we're gonna kind of do the end of the route, so what the event will finish. So yeah, some
Awesome.
climbs and some smooth
Not
stuff,
so awesome,
hopefully.
because it is
Yeah.
so hot.
It is very hot. Yeah,
I am
feel very cooked
sweating
from
like a little
yesterday.
piggy. Right, should we crack on? Because
Yes,
the sooner
let's
we
crack
get
on.
going, the sooner we get to the pub.
Let's get going.
Let's go. Is my arm long enough? I don't know. Come on in.
Good morning.
How many meters?
Only 150.
Oh.
Oh, it's actually some. Maybe a bit.
Well, cheers, Suvi. That was
Cheers.
some excellent gravel.
It was.
Nothing like a good bit of shandy to end a long, hot ride. How does that gravel compare to Scotland, interestingly?
It was chunky.
Chunky.
And it was a lot lighter. I don't think we have ever anywhere in Scotland we don't have that kind of white,
Okay.
like kind of gravel.
So how do you mean chunky?
Chunky. It was just really rattly.
I'm not a gravel rider. If people are listening, are they going to know what you mean by chunky?
I think so. It's just
Okay.
a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
A lot of rocks and yeah, rattling about. Just if you imagine just a lot of rattling on a bike.
So you're looking forward to coming down these parts again?
I am. Like, I mean,
Sweet.
the ridges were absolutely beautiful that we were
Yeah.
riding. Just like so many. Yeah. Also so many that we went down and up them. So yeah, it
I
was
was
stunning.
saying while we were up there, it reminds me of Tuscany a bit. Well, no, because the heat, we did have the heat, we did have the white roads.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Tuscany today. Most of the year it's not really like Tuscany. around these parts. But yeah,
Yeah,
for a
definitely.
few days of the year.
Yeah, I would totally believe that I'm somewhere else than England.
Awesome.
It's lovely here though.
So what's next for you in terms of events?
There's Raiders Gravel, which is on
Okay.
the, I guess in 2 weeks time now, 24th,
Yep.
later in August. So that's
Yep.
a 3-day event in Scotland actually, so a bit closer to my hoods.
3 days of gravel.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I think it's mainly the two days are a bit bigger and then 1 day a bit smaller. So yeah, I'll see if I ride all the 3 days or just 2. But yeah, but that's next.
2 with beer day.
Yeah,
That'd be
I think
fine.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully it could be. Some of my friends were riding some of the route just last week, so I think it could be something a bit similar to today. Like some of the chunky gravel, not as white.
I tell you what, I've got cyclocross up next, and honestly, I cannot bring myself to think of 2 degrees and mud when it's this hot. It's
No.
33 today, I think.
Or
And
if not even more.
we were basically sweating out our sun cream. It was that bad.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if I can bear thinking about 2 degrees.
I think it's quite nice though to think a bit of rain here. Like it's definitely needed.
Yeah.
And it's quite dusty to ride. Like our
Yes.
bikes are definitely squeaking in places
Yeah.
that you don't know where it's coming, but
We've both got very chatty jockey wheels. That was,
hopefully it's a jockey wheel. So.
yeah, hopefully.
And nothing else.
But yeah, the mud brings all its own problems in terms
Yeah,
of mechanicals.
totally.
But yes, so who are we going to next? I think it must be Brad.
Yeah, a bit more off-road.
Yeah,
Even more off-road.
off-road. Brad,
Yeah.
what you been doing?
Thanks Liam, and welcome to the party, Suvi. From my side, well, the racing season is pretty much over. It doesn't mean that I'm done, but from a racing point of view, I'm finished. My goal for the season was to get promoted from sport. That means you've got to finish in the top 15 at the end of the end of the year. Currently 14th, so I could go and race, but the races that are on are miles away, so I'm just going to sit tight, fingers crossed. But what does that mean for me? What am I going to do? Well, I am going to take on an FKT. What is an FKT? It stands for fastest known time. I won't go into too much detail because ultimately I could go on forever, but fast known time is effectively an individual time trial, over 150k, more than 25% off-road technically. I guess you can go and find out more. There's a website called fastestknowntimes.org.uk, lists the routes that are known, the times that are known, men and women, and gives you a bit more detail, so head over there. I'm going to be taking on the Ridgeway double. The Ridgeway is classed as kind of one of Britain's oldest tracks. I've been on it a couple of times. It's 282 kilometers roughly, and about 4,000 meters of climbing. The target time is sub 13 hours. I think it's going to be tricky, but I've ridden it in the wet. It's super hard in the wet. It's quite clay, it's on a ridge, it can get super windy, but the forecast is looking like it's going to be dry, and it has been dry for ages. So my only concern is it could be too hot. It looks like it could get up to 30 degrees, which is going to be the hardest thing, but I'm excited. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, so I have to wait and see. I'm going to be riding the Canyon Lux as always. I'm going to have the Hammerhead up front telling me where to go, and I've got the Goodyear Peaks on there, so let's see how it goes. I am at the start of the Ridgeway. It's about 5:45 in the morning. It's a fresh morning, but I'm going to relish it because it's looking like it's going to be a hot one. I'm starting at the Overton Hill start, 280k, about 4,000 meters of climbing. Not much wind yet, but let's see how it goes. Updates coming every 50k. Let's have it. 50k in, we're on track. It's a beautiful day. The wind hasn't been too bad. I mean, it's a ridge, so it's exposed, so there is always wind. Been pushing quite hard, trying to keep the stops to a minimum, so this update will be short. Trying to keep everything to 1 to 2 minutes. They add up. The Ridgeway is super easy to follow. Really easily, yeah, there's loads of signposts, so that's quite nice. But the first 10k, look down at Karoo and there's a segment to go for, so saw the little crown on the route, went for it, just went on forever. Thankfully it deviated, I went off the segment, back on track and got at my own pace, but that was a lot of fun. Anyway, update over, on to the next 50k. Oh, it's getting warm. It really is getting warm. Hit 100k, 4 hours 15, so I'm on track of what I want to do. I only stopped for a couple of minutes, so going good. I think the main thing that's changed kind of between 65k and 90, or even now actually, there's a lot more road that gets introduced, and you got to be careful to kind of stay actually on the Ridgeway or find the Ridgeway and not go on the road bit. I think that's the hardest part. The first 65k was easy, just like you knew exactly where you're going. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's crack on. Right, I am halfway now and I am on the limit. It's gonna be close. I am so close and I need to push. This last 25k to this bit, oh, just parkour has changed. A lot hillier, it's kind of the bigger hills, up, down, no kind of rhythm to it. So, I mean, it's gonna have to be short and sweet, but it's also a lot hotter now and I can feel it. It's just harder. I also need to do a resupply. Anyway, I gotta crack on. See you in 50k. Bye. 209k. About 9 hours 30. Been slow on the updates because, to be honest, fell behind, needed to do a refuel. Just had to get my head down. Whew. I mean, I'm fortunate because I've chosen a day where it's a weekday, it's a Monday, and it's really hot, meaning that there's not a lot of dog walkers because dogs shouldn't walk in this kind of heat. And yeah, it's a weekday, so most people are working, so it's played in my favour. But yeah, it's the heat is creeping up on me, but I can't complain. It's lovely. Whoa, right, gotta go. Here's the deal. I've just finished. It's bloody close. I don't have enough energy to speak. So you're gonna have to stay tuned for the result and a more in-depth look and breakdown of today. Sorry, I haven't got much more right now. I am a shell. I'm back home. Couple of days post FKT attempt. And I am going to have to class it as an attempt because I missed out by 2 minutes. Heartbreaking, I know. I did it in a time of 13 hours and 8 minutes. The target time was 13:06. Well, the target time was sub 13, which I did not hit. I was flying first couple of hours, kind of first half actually, I was doing really, really well and was, yeah, absolutely loving it. The bike was perfect setup for it, really. I think it does need to be done on a mountain bike. I think on the way back, it was just too hot for me. The heat was really getting to me. 2 hours to go, I ran out of water, magically stumbled across a tap, but the tap ran out after filling only 1 bottle. And then it was just a slog to the end. And to be honest, my head wasn't in it for the last little bit. The reason I didn't give you this update at the end was, tragically, there was a farm fire right next to the car park and it was all a bit hectic right at the end. So I didn't really want to start giving this update from there. There was a lot of ambulances, a lot of fire engines. It was all kicking off. But yeah, I think ultimately for kind of FKTs, it needs to be cooler for me. I can't ride in that sort of heat. It really did make it a lot harder. I couldn't eat for like the last 4 hours. My stomach was just swelling. I couldn't get anything in apart from gels, and it wasn't really, it meant I just couldn't put any power down. But I think I mean, when I finished, I really wasn't fussed about going and getting it again, but I think I might have to give it another go, but I'm gonna have to get a bit more energy back and then take it on again. I mean, this is what the feels are like right now. Say hello. Tired. Anyway, let's see what next month brings us. Over to you, Liam.
Right, welcome back to the Enduro segment of this video where I try to ride bikes as fast as I possibly can with varying degrees of success. Today we're at the Southern Enduros in Minehead. This is the championship, this is the big one. So this weekend's a little bit different to all the other ones. So it takes place over 2 days. The first one is practice and later on we've got some seeding, so that kind of works as a qualifying thing. And then tomorrow is the proper race. But this race is 7 stages rather than 4 or 5 that I've been in recently, so that's going to be interesting in terms of fitness, so I have to see how that goes. But yeah, today's going to be the biggest day really, because I think technically we're doing the stages at least 8 times, so we'll practice all 7 stages, and then one of the seeding takes place on one of the stages, and that's basically a race run as it gets added on to the time. And then tomorrow we'll do 6 stages. So the bike, I've done a little change. I've got handguards on. I'm going full enduro, but I find that it may be scientifically proven to add 30% of speed. No, but I know that some areas of this place can be a little bit overgrown, so it'll just protect my hands a little bit. And of course these are quite minimal, so they don't look as questionable as they normally would. So yeah, I've actually not raced for the whole of last month, so that's another interesting thing, because I've just come off a holiday as well that I didn't ride over, so fitness might be a little bit lower than I'd like it to be, but we'd have to see how it goes. And the interesting thing, stage 2, you see that hill over there, that's flipping miles away, so yeah, the second stage we've got some pedaling to do to get there. But yeah, okay, I'll get in touch with you before seeding. Stage 1 is incredibly dusty at the moment, so we're trying to let riders let the dust go down a bit. So yeah, the fact it's a 2-day event, I think it's a good idea just to try and take it easy. Don't worry about the grass, it might be slippy come the race. Okay. Okay, stage 2, so I've just been told that this is the longest stage of the race, so this might be one that's best to just save the energy and take it a bit easier. So I'm probably going to feel, shall I wear the full face? Still going. Blimey. Cool, let's go. Third stage, it's already a massive day. Try and lower the stages a little bit. Which I'm doing again later in the year. So hopefully this actually makes up. Thanks. Okay, stage 4, looks like there's a weird line down here. Okay, absolutely beautiful. Very far out, very rocky. Okay, stage 5 now, I think. With the last one being so sketchy, I've heard that this one. Oh, what is that? Oh no!
Keep going.
Thank you.
Oh, you did the hard stuff.
That was not so bad. Alright, final stage. I'm looking forward to this being done and knackered. This is it. Cool, so that is practice done, and yeah, it went all right. It's good to see what's going on with everything, because even though I've done a lot of these trails, some of them are very, very new to me. The stuff over this side I'm quite confident with, even though I messed up a jump big time. But over there it gets proper steep and it's incredibly dry, super dusty and very, very loose. So that stuff is going to take a little bit of a change in tactics. Like, rather than go as quick as physically possible, or try to go as quick as physically possible everywhere, it's just a case of not falling off and hoping that I can gain some time just by hanging on and rolling through everything. It's very off camber and interesting. But yeah, it's worked out that I'm actually doing a little bit less riding than I've already than I was expecting, because it's technically only 6 stages, but we do 1 stage twice. So that's good, because I'm very, very tired and I've been riding since about 9-10 o'clock. So yeah, now it's seeding, and then that's the day done. Doing some racing tomorrow. Alright, so that's seeding done. I'm so sorry I forgot to turn the GoPro on as I dropped in, but I think as a run in general, it went okay. There were a couple of mistakes to do with corners and just stalling a little bit, and but yeah, I think considering how knackered and horrible I felt today, which seems to be a running theme of this little series, I think I did it all right. I didn't do the jump at the bottom, mainly because I just absolutely missed it. So I just tried to hold on to those corners as well as I could. So yeah, now time to get McDonald's, get some beer, get some sleep. I'll come back to you with some race runs tomorrow. Alright, so we're on Sunday. This is race day. So a couple of lessons to have learned from yesterday is that I need to carry food with me, because it's a big old 1200 meter climbing day, and I need to fill up my water a lot more because I was very dehydrated, incredibly tired and incredibly hungry. So hopefully, or that's only gonna exaggerate as I do race runs and stuff. So yeah, I think the plan for the race is to stage 1 or 2, 3 and 7 are over on this side of the hill, and that's the easier side. So I think let's try harder on those ones, whereas the ones over here, they're quite, or they're edging towards the limits of my capabilities. So I'm just gonna chill out, roll down them, because everything's so dry with so many people rolling down it. It's just gonna, the condition of the trails is gonna get pretty awful. So yeah, just roll down it. I'm not going to try to race it as such, just get down, stay rubber side down, and if I can go quickly I will, but let's take those ones cautiously. So yeah, I'll take you along for some race runs. I'm sorry I didn't get the CD run, but I seeded 43rd out of 50. To a lot of people that doesn't sound great, but I think considering that this is a national round and there's lots of people who do this an awful lot, I think not to finish last is ideal. So I've got, it also means that I get to leave a little bit earlier, so the slower riders leave before the faster riders, and I don't know why that's the case, but it means I get to go out on slightly fresher tracks and go home a little bit earlier, which would be nice. So yeah, let's go do some racing. I'll take you along, do some video, and I'll get back to you a little bit later. Got to turn the GoPro off the start, sorry. So we have to start on stage 2, as we actually raced stage 1 proceeding yesterday, that counts. So, longest stage to start with, and that is pretty hardcore. Fair enough, this is how it works, isn't it? It's how we're at, like I said. Not happy with that. I guess I should be looking up. This sucks though. This is the one I'm really nervous about. Like that, it's so tricky to find one. Like a yes, ma'am. Well, that's a trail we've just been down, and GoPro effect is the thing, so when we get close, I'll let you know how it actually looks. One moment. That's fun. Perfect. Yeah. That was so much fun. Wow. Right, so that is Southern Enduro over for Minehead in, yeah, the Southern Enduro Champs, Minehead. Yeah, again, sorry I forgot to film a few things. In the heat of the moment, it's just something that happened. You know, you're halfway through a trail, the last thing I want to be doing is trying to turn the GoPro on. So yeah, I think actually it went pretty well, even though like I was really conservative on stage 3 and had a bit of an issue with taping where people were just straight lining a corner. And yeah, I had a couple of moments, but I think all things considered, you know, racing trails that steep is quite new to me. That steep and especially that slippery and dusty. So I think the fact that for the most part I managed to keep it rubber side down, and at some points I got some speed going. Yeah, I think I did quite well. Very tired. I underestimated the whole thing in a big way, so I knew it was going to be a lot of stages, but I didn't quite know that it would be so much distance and so much climbing. I think we did about 1,200 meters of climbing today. So today in general, I feel a lot better because I've eaten loads and I've drank loads. So yeah, that's a lesson that I need to learn for next time I do something this size, is to drink loads and eat loads. But yeah, as in results, I got a preliminary 25th, but I'm expecting something in the 40s, which isn't ideal, but again, it's a massive learning curve for me. And yeah, again, I think my riding's improving, even though it might not look like it at the moment. But yeah, everything's going quite well, I think, especially seeing as I'm still in one piece, and that's mega important. So yeah, next month for me, I've actually got 2 races, technically 3, but we've got 2 Southern Enduros, and that is the end of my season, which is bittersweet. It's been quite tiring, but it's been a hell of a lot of fun just to be racing this kind of stuff. It's been a fantastic opportunity to think about the way that I ride and just to push myself a little bit more. I think these 2 races are going to be a bit more mellow too, so I can push myself a little bit harder. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one. So that is what the team got up to throughout the whole of August, and hopefully we're going to see some great things come from Suvi in the next couple of episodes. We'll also see Liam Cahill start doing a bit of racing. We'll get updates from myself as my Enduro season is well underway, and we'll see some more things from Brad as his cross-country season winds down. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.